Mi Zhu, a native of Chu County in Donghai, came from a very wealthy family. In his early years, he once traveled to Luoyang for business. On his return journey in a carriage, he encountered a beautiful woman on the road asking for a ride. Miju immediately stepped down and gave up his seat, walking on foot. The woman, however, invited him to ride together. Once in the carriage, Miju sat upright, never casting improper glances. After a few miles, the woman took her leave, saying, "I am the fire deity of the south, sent by the heavenly emperor to burn your house tonight. Because you treated me with courtesy, I am telling you this. Return quickly to remove your valuables, for I will come tonight." Then she vanished. Startled, Miju rushed home and moved out all his belongings. That very night, the kitchen caught fire and the entire house burned down. From then on, he donated much of his wealth to aid the poor. Later, Tao Qian appointed him as an aide-de-camp. One day, Miju proposed, "I am willing to go personally to Beihai to ask Kong Rong to raise troops for aid, and send another to Tian Kai and Qingzhou for support. If both forces arrive together, Cao Cao will surely retreat." Tao Qian agreed, wrote 2 letters, and asked who would go to Qingzhou. A man named Chen Deng, style name Yuan Long, from Guangling, volunteered and was sent first. Mi Zhu then set out for Beihai, while Tao Qian led his troops to defend the city. Kong Rong, the administrator of Beihai, styled Wenjiu, was a 20th-generation descendant of Confucius and son of Kong Zhou, commandant of Mount Tai. Intelligent since childhood, at the age of 10 he went to visit Li Ying, the governor of Hunan. Blocked by the doorman, he claimed to be a family friend. When admitted, Li Ying asked what connection their families had. Kong Rong cleverly replied, "Confucius once sought instruction from Laozi. Are we not old family friends through the generations?" Li Ying was impressed. Kong Rong later served as general of the household gentlemen and eventually became administrator of Beihai. He won the hearts of the people during his 6-year tenure and loved entertaining guests, often saying, "May my hall always be filled with guests, and my wine jar never empty. This is my wish." That day, Miju arrived with Tao Qian's plea for help. Kong Rong said, "I have deep friendship with Tao Qian, and since you have come in person, I cannot refuse. However, I wish to first write to Cao Cao to seek peace. If that fails, then we will raise troops." Miju insisted Cao Cao would not agree, so Kong Rong began preparing troops while sending the letter. In the midst of discussion, news came that the Yellow Turban remnant Guanhai was leading tens of thousands of bandits toward the city. Kong Rong hurried to meet them in battle. Guanhai demanded 10,000 shur of grain, or he would sack the city. Kong Rong sternly refused. In the ensuing battle, his officer Zhong Bao was slain, the army routed, and Guanhai encircled the city. The next day, Kong Rong climbed the walls and saw the enemy like a flood, adding to his worries. Suddenly, a lone rider with a spear charged through the bandit ranks, killing his way to the gate and shouting for it to be opened. Kong Rong, not recognizing him, hesitated until he saw the man cut down over a dozen foes, forcing the rest back, and then admitted him. The man introduced himself as Taisher Ci, styled Z, from Huang County in Donglai. His mother had once received Kong Rong's kindness. Learning Beihai was besieged, she ordered him to help. Overjoyed, Kong Rong gave him armor and a horse. Taisher Ci asked for 1,000 troops to sally out, but Kong Rong feared the enemy's numbers. Taisher Ci declared that if he could not break the siege, he would have no face to see his mother, and insisted on a desperate fight. Kong Rong said that if Liu Bei could be invited, the siege would be lifted, but there was no one to send. Taisher Ci volunteered, then rode out alone, shooting down pursuers, and reached Pingyuan to see Liu Bei. After explaining Kong Rong's plight and presenting the letter, Liu Bei set out with Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, leading 3,000 troops to Beihai. Guan Hai, seeing the relief force, was unimpressed. In battle, Guan Yu slew him within a few dozen bouts. Taisher Ci and Zhang Fei charged into the fray. Liu Bei's troops attacked from outside, and Kong Rong sallied from the city, crushing the bandits and capturing many. Kong Rong feasted Liu Bei and introduced Mi Zhu, who pleaded for aid for Shuzhou. Liu Bei lamented Tao Qian's unjust suffering. Kong Rong urged him to help. Liu Bei agreed, but said he must first borrow troops from Gongsun Zan, promising to come. Mi Zhu returned to report to Tao Qian, and Kong Rong began to prepare. Taisher Ci, summoned by Liu Yao and Yang Zhou, took his leave. Liu Bei visited Gongsun Zan, borrowed 2,000 men, and requested Zhao Yun accompany him, bringing the total to 5,000 to march to Shuzhou. Meanwhile, Tao Qian also received aid from Tian Kai of Qingzhou. Fearing Cao Cao's might, Kong Rong and Tian Kai camped at a distance without advancing. Liu Bei reached Beihai, left Guan Yu and Zhao Yun to assist in defense, and with Zhang Fei led 1,000 men toward Cao Cao's camp, reaching Shuzhou's gates and driving off Eugene. Entering the city, he met Tao Qian. Tao Qian, admiring Liu Bei's dignified bearing, wished to hand Shuzhou over to him. Liu Bei firmly refused, unwilling to seize territory and betray righteousness. Mi Zhu suggested first driving off the enemy. Liu Bei wrote to Cao Cao urging withdrawal. Cao Cao, enraged and ready to execute the envoy, was persuaded by Guojia to stall for time. Just then, news arrived that Liu Bu had seized Yanzhou. Alarmed, Cao Cao decided to retreat to reclaim it, taking the chance to do Liu Bei a favor. After Cao Cao's retreat, Tao Qian rejoiced and again offered Shuzhou to Liu Bei, who still refused, instead proposing to garrison Xiaobei to protect it. Tao Qian agreed. Kong Rong and Tian Kai returned to their territories. Zhao Yun departed, and Liu Bei, with Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, took up position in Xiaobei, repairing walls and calming the people. Cao Cao returned to Yanzhou and encountered Liu Bu at Puyang, losing the first battle. On Yu Jin's advice, he successfully raided the western camp at night, but was counterattacked by Gao Shun and Liu Bu's combined forces, falling into encirclement. At this moment, Dian Wei stepped forward to protect his lord, hurling short halberds and killing over 10 men, scattering the enemy and rescuing Cao Cao. By evening, Liu Bu again pursued, and Cao Cao's forces, exhausted and desperate, faced peril, unsure if he could escape. Summary. This chapter tells how Mi Zhu sought aid for Tao Qian, and Taisher Ci, obeying his mother's command, broke through enemy lines to request help from Liu Bei. Liu Bei, with Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Kong Rong, defeated Guan Hai. Later, Liu Bei went to Shuzhou, where Tao Qian, in gratitude, offered him the province, but Liu Bei declined and instead garrisoned Xiaobei. Meanwhile, Cao Cao was forced to withdraw when Liu Bu seized Yanzhou. Returning, Cao Cao fought Liu Bu at Puyang and was nearly captured, saved only by Dian Wei's valor. The outcome remained unresolved, leaving the story on a cliffhanger. Knowledge points. 1. Liu Bei rescuing Kong Rong. In the novel, Liu Bei is depicted as personally rescuing Beihai's administrator Kong Rong. Historically, while Liu Bei and Kong Rong did have contact, there is no definitive record of such a rescue mission. 2. Repeated heroic duels. The trope of a sudden decisive duel, like Guan Yu slaying Hua Xiong, reappears in various forms in the novel to emphasize loyalty and bravery, though such events are often unrecorded in historical texts. 3. Chun Gong's relationship with Cao Cao. The novel dramatizes Chun Gong's interactions, portraying him as deliberately sparing Cao Cao's life, whereas historically, their relationship was less theatrical, and Chun Gong later joined Lu Bu.